get all these?
That was yesterday's work, so I pulled the canvases off a whole bunch of reject paintings, and we're just going to reuse them.
Ah. So what does that entail?
So you get this canvas, cotton canvas from Curry's. It comes in a roll. I can't remember how much it is, but it's not expensive. You can get it primed or unprimed. Better to get it unprimed because it stretches. It's easier to stretch when it's unprimed. So get it unprimed, put it on your stretcher, and then prime it yourself afterwards, and then that'll make it nice and tight. So take the stretcher. The stretchers are usually about 1.5 inches wide and about 3/4 inch deep. Right, and so you want a decent overlap. You want this to come across and leave enough room like this to staple at the back.
Got it.
And you want to staple at the back rather than having the staples showing on the side. Generally speaking, it means you need about 1.5 inches extra, a bit larger than the size of the stretcher. So go for this factory edge, like go for the raw edge, line it up, and this just happens to be 1.5 inches wide. So that's my guide here. Do the same at the bottom. Right. And that's my intersect. So this is my first corner. So now, you don't have to do any measuring after that. This goes in like this. Okay, so the thing to remember now, once you've got a piece cut, is which side. So if you take a look at your stretcher, there's usually some sort of a profile here that keeps the canvas off, because one of the annoying thing is to have the canvas touching this inner piece and you get ghosting when you paint on it. So this must now face down.
Got it.
Right, so now put this face down, so that's at the front of the canvas.
So the bumpy side goes down.
Yeah. So now, you can either use a regular handheld stapler like this one, and they use T50s is the staple I use, or I happen to have a compressor and air one here. Same thing, this one just happens to have air. So this is a nice to have. You don't really need one of these things, but they are handy. They just grab the canvas and help you to pull.
Got it.
And if you don't have these, you can use a pair of pliers or just your hands.
If you're doing multiples, it gets sore, so
Your
that's
hand
why.
can get tired, yeah. So now for the first one, you just pull the canvas over it and pop it, staple it. Just using my fingers at the moment.
You can already see the tension.
Yeah, and so the trick here is to go opposite ends. So we put a couple at one end, a couple at the other. You're going to do it manually. Then go side to side, same thing. Hold not too much on the first one because there's no tension on that yet. Right, and this is the first time we're going to get some tension.
So you're really pulling it over that edge.
Yeah, now you have to be, if you, I don't know, there's a right amount of tension. This is a nice stretcher with crossbars on it. So it's not going to pull out a square. Sometimes you'll get one like this that has no crossbars on it. And it is actually possible to pull these out a square if you put too much tension on it and it's not straight. So you need it tight, but not so tight that you're going to pull this thing crooked. And you won't know it's crooked until you go to frame your painting.
Right.
Okay, corners. What do you do when you get to a corner? Now, I honestly, I don't think I've got this really figured out, but the way I do it is I pull the corner, just try to create as tight a lap as I can, and then just pull this guy over, and then pull this guy over.
Got it.
So it gives you a nice neat corner. Or neat enough corners, not as neat as the factory ones, but that's good. So pulling it in as tight as it'll go. Take this, pull it over. Oops. And there we have it, tight as a drum. So once we get some gesso on that, the gesso will actually pull it tighter when it dries, and you'll have a nice taut canvas for painting on. The edges. And there we have it, a finished article. Nothing scarier than a blank canvas.